Warning, the following video has not been approved by the Comic Code Authority and is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The.Comic.Assassin. It's Friday. I hope all of y'all had a great week and hope y'all got a good weekend planned. Alright, I know it's where I'm at. It's been just raining all day. It's getting cold and it's just like, getting kind of miserable out there. But anyway, I hope all of you guys are having nothing but sunshine and beautiful weather and enjoying life. Today is the day where I'll let you guys know what books I picked up throughout the week, and we're also doing our normal comic book review. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Some of the dollar books I picked up. I had to get the Swamp Thing #1 dollar comic reprint. Looking forward to that. This back issue bin. I went through the dollar bin, and normally when you're flipping through books, you only see the top half, and sometimes I'm really bad about not examining the book because it's a dollar book. But this one I totally messed up on. I went for it, and it's a Fantastic Four 212, and I saw that it had some issues. I didn't get home until I realized that it's missing almost the whole quarter of that bottom corner right there. I don't know how the hell I missed that. But yeah, that's probably going to go in the trash. Because I just saw this part, and I was like, oh, Fantastic Four, Galactus, I'm sold. Come home. I was like, let me check out the back of it. Oh, I'm seeing water damage, and then I see a chip missing out of it. Man, that's some crazy damage. I don't know how I didn't see that. But hey, it was $1, so I'm not out that much. Some of the other back issue stuff that I got, and I dropped a video on this because I bought these this week in support to enter myself in a Comic Book NYC's Loose Change Challenge. So you can go check out that video you want. But I got Amazing Spider-Man 130, the first appearance of the Spider-Mobile, as well as Amazing Spider-Man 138. So those are two books that I needed. And I had a real fun time doing that video and giving a shout of support to Comic Book NYC. So some of the other ones I got for DC, I got Red Hood Outlaw number 39. And then I got Batman Curse the White Knight. This is book number 4. Then I had to go, I got the Marauders #1. This wasn't the cover I really wanted, but I was like, it's the connecting cover that went with X-Men #1, which I'm not a huge fan of having connecting covers across different titles. But since I got the other one, I figured why not? Let's get this one. Had to go with this one, Immortal Hulk 25. And then one of the indie books I got was Resonant #4 from Vault Comics. Now, normally Resonant is in the pile of books that I do a review on. I'm going to let that one sit for a minute, but the two books I'm going to be reviewing for y'all today, the first one is Show's End #3. Now, I did a review of 1 and 2, so if you're interested in what's going on in those issues, you can go find those. But yeah, so it starts off basically she is getting ready to do her first performance. It has her going and her learning like all the other people who are in there. So you have the one guy who does pretty much pyrotechnics, spits out fire. You have this one chick who has this special kind of like metallic ink tattoos that allows her to do crazy stuff with electricity. But basically, she's just getting to know more members of the camp, right, of the circus. But this one guy, Tipsy, he was the one that was kind of the watching out for Flipsy, the one that died in the first issue. You can tell he's in pain. He does a lot of self-infliction type of shows where does piercings and everything like that. And it seems to be getting worse, but the whole story is basically she's talking about how everybody is getting more down and out. Times are getting harder. I guess they're really hurting for money, and they're pretty much saying that if we don't succeed tonight, we might be through completely. So they're going like, what can we do? What can we do? And they're like, yeah, let's sell moonshine. So here he is. He's like, yeah, come on up. We'll, come get some moonshine. Just don't tell the sheriff where you got it. And of course, they know that, hey, this is a rough crowd to begin with. Once they get drunk, this could get really bad really quick. Anyway, they go on, and she comes on stage, our main character, Loreline. And basically, her act is where she pretty much walks on these razor-sharp swords because her body's pretty much impenetrable. But it's her first time going up with an act. Well, meanwhile, the pig boy is over here, and he's trying to steal wallets. All right, so he's doing it to try to help out his crew to get money, but at the same time, he's stealing people's wallets. So she goes and she does a good show, and she actually does a really good job. They're clapping, they're applauding her. They're like, how does she do that? And basically, she looks over, and she sees two things happening. First off, here's one of the guys. He was in the very first issue. He was the one that initially bought her, and then she ran away. And then she sees the pig boy getting caught by the locals. And they're like, nah, not here. This is how we take care of it. So they take him outside, and the freaks are like, there's nothing we can do. If there's anything left of them when they're done, we'll take out our own freak justice. And they're, where is it? Where's that scene? So they got him outside. They got him pinned down. They're about to set his hand on fire. And the Loreline has this brilliant idea. She's like, pretty much telling him like, well, you think that fire is really going to hurt him? They're like, we'll just cut his hands off. Like, oh, you're going to cut off something that he's been afflicted with his whole life? If you want to see something for real, if you want a real show, let's do some freak justice. And basically, in the beginning of the book, they had these barrels of nothing but rotten apples. And pretty much, she puts a spin on it, right? They tie up the pig boy to a pole, and she charges money for them to get an apple and throw it. And she's like, throw it as hard as you want. He's afraid of bees. Bees are attracted to these rotten apples. And sure enough, they're sitting there and they're letting him have it, throwing the apples at the pig boy. And basically, they went through all the freaking apples. Now he's all bruised up. He's not happy, and he's like, you can hide your affliction. I can't. I don't like being laughed at. He's in a pissy mood. Meanwhile, everybody else is pretty happy for the most part, because she kind of saved the day. Not only did she really save the pig boy in the long run, even though, it might be kind of cruel to get pelted with apples, that's a lot better than getting set on fire and get your hands cut off, right? But this is where it starts getting a little weird. So, basically, the guy is still worried about money, even though they did do much better than they were going to do. So, like I said, she kind of saved the day money-wise. But Tipsy, the guy's over here, and he's like, look, I want to tell you something. And pretty much saying that whenever they go back to the graveyard, he wants her to stay there. Don't leave, and basically, so something's going to happen at Show's End, which is the graveyard that they bury their own. Anyway, they have this party, and they're all celebrating her and, just living it up. Like I said, she kind of saved the show for the day. But they're like, hey, we want you to meet somebody, and boom, it's old dude. Old dude's ready. They're about to have their talk. So, and that's it. Honestly, I've really have enjoyed this series. But it's one that I'm really on the fence with of continuing. There was a lot going on, and I know it's all story development. The artwork is decent. But yeah, it's kind of lagging a little bit behind for me. When number 4 comes out, it's probably going to be an issue I'm going to flip through first, because unless the action picks up a little bit in this one, it might be one that I drop. Not because I don't really enjoy it, because I do. It's just because, like I said, you have a limited amount of funds, and you got to pick what you want to buy. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I still do recommend it. It's been a pretty fun read. I always like the whole circus, carnival, freak show type of theme. But yeah, there's shows in number 3. Now the next one is another indie book. This is from Dark Horse Comics, and this is Count Crowley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter, number 1. First off, I love the title. I love the title. The cover art is pretty freaking sweet. Here she is. She's got her bottle of booze. Looks like she's kind of like an electric chair. Got some wolfmane arms coming out from behind. I really dig that cover art. But basically, it starts off kind of with one of those scenes. I forget what they call those scenes. But anyway, you see her storming out. She's storming out of a studio. She's got a liquor bottle in her hand. And this guy comes up, and he's like, where is he? He promised to help me. And she's like, dude, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I think you got the wrong person. And he pulls a gun on her. And so she's thinking he's about to shoot her. And then he's like, no. He pulls the gun back onto himself. And he's like, I just can't do it. Please shoot me. Please shoot me. She drops her bottle of liquor. And you see a little snarl going on right there, and then you get this silhouette of what looks like her. And this actually, I didn't notice this before, it's actually a reflection in the booze. So here's the booze bottle broken, all the liquor everywhere, and you see the full moon, and you see a reflection of her in what looks like a werewolf. So that's pretty cool. I didn't actually realize it was the liquor from the liquor bottle. I see the reflection. Alright, then it flips back to the day before. And so basically the day before, she's at this Renaissance fair. She's a reporter for the news. So she's at this Renaissance fair, and she's over in the background sneaking wine. So she's drinking all this boxed wine. So apparently we can get the idea that she has a pretty big drinking problem. Okay? So she's getting all boozed up, and it shows her doing the interview with the guy who's heading the fair, and he's trying to ham it up as much as he can, but the whole time, like, she is snarky as hell. Like, she says things like, and there's no shortage of souvenirs for mom and dads to shell out. It's pretty much about to say, they're trying to get all your money. And then he cuts in, and he's like, yeah, we have helmets, shields, and he goes, but it's not just for kiddos. We have ale and we have wine. And he says, that his wife is a wine connoisseur, and she brought only the best wine in town. And of course, our alcoholic, drunky reporter, she's like, oh, wait, really? Is that true? Follow me. And she brings him and pretty much busts his ass, shows everybody that, here's all that the finest wine collection, all this boxed wine. So pretty much exposing the guy for being a sham in this regard. And they're online, and he's calling her drunk, and she gets knocked over and pretty much just lets everybody has it. She goes, this podunk town, all we do is our little races and blah, 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 blah. And anyway, does not talk highly of the town or the events that are going on. And it's all on film. Needless to say, that puts her employer in a little bit of a tricky situation. And also her employer happens to be her brother. I guess their parents used to have this. This was their studio. They've kind of inherited it. And the brother is not happy. And, he's all pissed off. And basically, he's like, you're done. Like, that was it. That was the last straw. But he keeps on having second thoughts because I guess she's had some lost. She's lost some people in her life, so he feels sorry for her. But basically, he's like, hey, you know what? I've got a gig that's a possibility. You know that Count Crowley show? Well, Count Crowley, we get super good ratings on the weekends. That's where we get most of our advertisement money on the weekends. But Count Crowley has not shown up for weeks. Would you entertain the thought of picking up this show? And at first she's like, screw this. She storms out. And even a coworker, she goes, hey, I paid you more for a Paps girl, some PBR. Anyway, she gets right back to the car. As soon as she gets in the car, she opens up the glove box. She gets that bottle of booze, and she's going to town. She goes back home. She's drinking more booze. Basically, she gets out, and then the brother calls. He's leaving her a message. He's like, please, seriously, if you really want to do this, I want to keep you on the payroll. If you want to do this, you got to be here at the studio by 11 or something like that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to dress up and I'm going to have to do this whole shindig. And she's still pissed. She storms out. She goes to a bar. Guy offers to buy her a drink. Lo and behold, she wakes up with the guy. I guess she's not too happy with herself. Goes back to her place. Her landlord's there waiting on her. And he's like, look, you're late on your rent. You still owe me from the penalty from the late rent last month. And basically, there was something waiting on her. I guess it was from her brother. He's really is trying to help her. And she's like, you know what? I have to do this. I have to go do this gig. I don't want to. And she shows up and, they're like, hey, be yourself. Really only you're here. You're introducing the film that we're about to show. In between, you'll have a few little skits and, some little promo stuff. But other than that, it's the movie that's on. You're just kind of the intro and little filler parts here and there. And of course, she's getting prepared. She's getting prepared, right? She needs that little drink. She's getting that drink to get ready. She's put on the makeup. And she comes out all dressed up, and the brother's actually surprised, like, wow, that's actually pretty impressive. So they start, and she just kind of stands still. All right, she's not talking. Then all of a sudden, once again, that mouth of hers starts going. She's like, good evening, ghouls. I mean, geeks. All you losers with nothing better to do on a Friday night but sit around eating pizza. Anyway, she pretty much goes on doing her short intro, pretty much bashing the movie as well as the people who would be watching this movie. And it turned out to be kind of a success. I mean, their phone was ringing off the hook. Apparently, there was people calling that absolutely hated it, but there was people who absolutely loved it. But the fact is, they're getting buzz. People were like, this is so crazy. They were tuned in. And it ended up being a bit of a success. Anyway. And what does an alcoholic do when they celebrate? There you go. She got a little celebration drink. So, and this is where it picks up with her going outside, storming out of the studio with her bottle, and that's when she gets confronted by this guy who turns into the werewolf. So, and that's it. Honestly, as someone who loves horror, and I remember, the type of movies that, where they have people coming out and they do the pitch, and it was kind of spooky-like. I actually really enjoyed this. Like I said, the artwork was good. It's got an interesting storyline where you have people who have actually, real-life problems. In this case, her being an alcoholic, having a hard time paying her bills, etc., etc. I thought it was good. I would have liked for a little bit more aspect on actually Count Crowley and what's going on with this guy, but I'm sure they're going to cover that. This is a mini series, so this is 1 out of 4. But yeah, this is one that I might stay on board with, at least for issue 2 because I actually enjoyed it. But yeah, there you go, Count Crowley and the Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about my pickups and the reviews. Did you pick any of these books up? Did you like them? Did you not like them? Please feel free to leave a comment down below. You can like, you can smash that dislike if you want. It's whatever you choose to do, but I do enjoy your comments regardless, because I like to communicate with you guys. Also, since we're talking about horror-related stuff, I want to give another little plug from one of my videos. I am doing a small giveaway. If you check back on some of my old videos, it was like two videos ago. I was talking about some Halloween movies and stuff like that. And it's a pretty easy way to enter. You just got to go with that video, watch it, do what I tell you to do, and I'm going to be giving away Redneck Number Volume 1. So this is issues 1 through 6, trade paperback. So yeah. So if you're interested in that, please check out that video and put yourself in the running. It's going to be going till around like the first week or so of November. I would end it sooner, but I'm going to have to be going out of town. I won't be near my computer. So that's why I chose to end it when I'm ending it. But yeah, with that being said, y'all, I hope all of y'all have a great weekend. Stay dry, stay happy, and if you do end up going out and trying to get some books at your LCS, or if you're doing some shopping online, I'm going to wish you all happy hunting.